What is going on, everyone? We are back with another music reaction on Depraved.
I'm Hellcat.
And together we are
HellaDepraved.
Yes, we are.
And I was so excited when I saw that this came out today, which is today for us recording it. Will not be today when this is released.
Like a day or and a half ago.
Right. I love SKYND. Absolutely love them. And they have come out with a new song, which it seems like maybe once a year, which They only do 1 or 2 a year. Yeah, which doesn't surprise me. I'm just always super excited when they do. So he was asking before we started this who Chris Watts is. I happen to know since I just came from New Mexico 2 years ago. Chris Watts was a guy in Colorado who ended up killing his pregnant wife and his 2 young daughters, which he said was based off of the fact that he was having an affair, and nobody really knows if he had officially asked for a divorce, if he didn't want to ask for a divorce. He started off with one story, kept changing it in terms of like his wife wouldn't grant him a divorce, a daughter happened to hear the whole struggle happening, yada yada. So obviously that is, he said, and nobody else could say different. But it was, he is in jail for the rest of his life because he was convicted of 4 counts of murder because of his pregnant wife. Yeah,
that was a twofer. All right,
that's what they considered it. So that is who this
piece of work is.
Yeah.
So, if you're actually able to see the video, it means it did not get blocked. WMG is very hit or miss.
Right.
With what they block and what they don't block. If you see a blurry square in the bottom, that means the video got blocked. So,
we've had decent luck with our other reactions to SKYND specifically. Right. We have had no luck with other music reactions for other artists from the same label. So that's why we warn you. Yeah.
So with that being said, we are going to react to this if you guys have already seen it. If not, click the link in the description below. Hop on over to all the things coming back because we're a commentary, reaction, breakdown comedy channel. And what that means is we will pause for any and or all of the above. It is time to slash it up and break it down. This is SKYND with Chris Watts. I almost said crisscross.
I mean, that would be an insult to them.
Jump.
Yeah, jump.
Okay, anyways. Let's get it.
Brought a first and a second young child.
This is so haunting.
And her voice is so goddamn gorgeous when she's not using the demonic effects on it. Just starting with the whispering of "My daddy is a hero." Like, the tragedy. So, the unborn child was going to be their first son. Just for a little reference in terms of, like, the rounding out the family. Now, I don't know if there is more behind the "My daddy was a hero," specifically using that word, or if it's just a little girl's bedtime fantasy, bedtime story type thing. I also don't know really anything other than the base material that I gave you, so I don't know if he had expectations of like the 50s housewife type thing, which is sort of the scenario that's going on here, which honestly artistically is haunting, but I don't know if that was an expectation.
I think the hero line is more of there's a saying, and I don't remember the saying at all word for word, but it has something to do with a father is always a daughter's first hero.
Right. Which was what I meant in terms of like the bedtime stories, like Prince Charming,
right?
That kind of thing. Also, the way she started this off, she was referencing his wife at first, so he was her hero, her Prince Charming, originally before they got married and everything. So again, it the way that they've done this in terms of like almost the life version of playing doll and dress up and little girls' fantasies, and of course she's dressed all in pink. Like, it's tragic, but it is so fitting.
Right.
Because that's like everything that was thrown away, lost.
Started to change.
Is that it?
I believe so. This has to be actually probably one of my favorites. And I wasn't expecting that because I don't want to say that Chris Watts himself is a nobody. His family was not. But the ones that I have ranked at my highest of theirs are based on more well-known serial type killers.
Right.
But the use of her real voice in this way more than normal in SKYND, this particular band, to represent his wife and the children, almost made this, well, it definitely made this more poignant for me. Because it shows the dichotomy of what she has said SKYND is all about, like showing the demons and the dark side of humanity and trying to find a way to explain that through music. But that's why she uses the synthesizer on her voice and
right.
so on and so forth. So having this story, but I don't know, there's something so innocent and pure and beautiful about her normal voice without any sort of effect on it, that it just made it stand out, especially when she's singing about bedtime and putting the babies to sleep. And
it's not even bedtime, it's bad time.
It's, yeah. So it's just a very, plus the instrumental they chose and it very haunting. You were 100% on the money with that exact adjective. It's fucking tragic is what it is, but...
So, true crime stories, for the most part, are... I won't say they're obviously not stories, but true crime is something we watch a lot of. And
right.
We have seen... I swear it feels like every kind of true crime you could fucking think of.
That's probably about right.
And even some you couldn't think of, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, shit.
Right. Humanity will never stop surprising me with the depravity we're capable of.
Right. And for the most part, it does not bother me. In any way, shape, or form. We've seen so many episodes of... let's
just
be real.
Everything.
Most true crime is either a husband
right.
murdering his wife, or vice versa.
I think you should specify. It doesn't bother you to hear about the stories at this point. Like, it's the true crimes themselves. There's certain things that you're just like, really, like, we can't
like
do
why?
better than this.
Like why?
Right.
I don't. But see, and this is just me being honest. I don't put the value on human life everyone else does. I have said this on the channel before. I don't think people or humanity individually is special. I think there are people that are special to us.
Right.
So I look at this whole situation completely different than most people do. Until it comes to kids.
Right.
Like,
and again, I think that should be clarified as, like, guys, no one's more important than somebody else.
Right.
No one's less important than somebody else. We're not really that much more important than animals, trees. I mean, like, we're sending the world to hell in a handbag because we think we are, and we're wrecking it.
Right.
So
we're the worst thing that's ever happened to this planet.
Exactly. So that's kind of more what we mean when we say that, because I'll agree with that. But yeah, when it comes to innocent.
Well, and here's the thing. Even listening to these stories, even hearing about kids being killed, typically doesn't get to me.
Right. It's tragic.
It's tragic, and I do think anybody who murders children
deserves a more
honestly
permanent
shouldn't
punishment.
even be in jail.
Yeah,
they
deserves
should,
a more
they should
permanent
be buried
punishment.
and
Right.
pissed on. So, but the one thing I almost will always have issues with is hearing songs about it. And I don't necessarily mean issues in like, this is bullshit, stop doing shit like this type issues. I mean like, this is my favorite song.
It's emotional.
They have done.
It's gripping. Yeah.
Again, I've got kids.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine. I think the last time I spanked Sophie, I almost cried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
Doing anything to the remotely
to, even
to this
hurt
extent.
them with,
right.
Yeah, with intent. This
It takes a special kind of piece of shit to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. And just for something so trivial as a divorce, or
even if she doesn't agree to sign it, you could still get divorced. She's just not happy about it.
Or separate yourself, or yeah, I mean, so I first of all, Colorado does not have the death penalty anymore, but second of all, it was her family's choice to not seek anything past the 4 life sentences and yada yada, because they just wanted it to end, basically. And I'll always respect the victim's family's choice on that. Like, may not agree with it, but I'll always respect that is their call, as far as I'm concerned. Now, even guys, if this gets blurred out, please go watch this, because the way they videoed this is also so important. Pulling the stuffing out of her putting the used plates up in the cupboard.
I was sitting here trying to figure out what the box in the end was supposed to be, and it was supposed to be the new girlfriend that he had ordered.
Yeah.
I've literally been sitting here like, what the fuck was the box
It was
for?
the new model. It was the new model.
Right.
But yeah, the whole tears on, he had, it was rain, I believe, or shower water or something, that they had the droplets coming down. I believe that might also have something to do with the way that she was disposed of. However, mimicking the tears that the doll version of her couldn't cry, the just showing the cracks in their relationship through doing things like putting the dishes in the cupboard with food on them and bugs on them used, because he was no longer entranced with the status quo. He needed the new model.
Right.
Just the way this whole thing was filmed. Plus, like I said, SKYND, she normally dresses in blacks, whites, very stark, strong colors to show these sides of the human depravity, basically. But going with different type of depraved, but going with the pastel pink, yeah. This was amazing. This is why I didn't want to wait to react to this. This is why we're doing it tonight, but not putting it out until Friday. This is amazing.
Indeed.
Yeah. And I almost teared up. I don't have kids of my own, guys, but that's this was incredible. It was worth a year.
Agreed. If you guys could bump it up to like 2 a year, though,
I'd appreciate it. I would definitely appreciate it.
I'm just saying,
right?
You're fantastic,
right?
And we like your music,
yeah.
And yeah.
And this is why.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being said, since that is my catchphrase, if you guys liked the video, slash that like button, subscribe, but ring the bell for notifications. Comment down below, what did you think of SKYND with Chris Watts? Also comment down below if there's anything else you guys want to see reacted to. Check the description below for all the things.
Push our buttons. Come join us on our other social media platforms, mostly Twitter if you want a quicker response.
If you guys Fucking hell.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. Thank you all for watching, and we cannot wait to
Yeah, he's discombobulated.
see you depraved. How long has that been there? See you depraved people later.
For 10? The
Bye.
entire time.
How come I haven't noticed it before?